It is a wet one, but never waste a day. Misty, rainy, foggy, but the season will slowly deteriorate up into winter. So what we're doing today is, this is the big permission we've been working for a long time, and I've never been out to this corner. I just realized there was a way in. It's a trail, but I don't know. We're going. The people who own this property have all kinds of trails and, well, you can see little itty bitty bridges, right? Right. But what I'm really hoping is that there is a bridge across this, because if it is, it easily just saved me a mile of walking in and a mile of walking out. Oh yeah. Oh, beautiful. Look at this thing. It's all banana peels though. Wow. But awesome, wonderful. Oof, rickety. Let me get to the other side and explain more. And that is why we take days like today to do things like this. You can hear the traffic. The road is right there, and then it's just massive land over here. But that several hundred feet of, well, there's a river in there. Impossible without the bridge. All right, that way. This should be really interesting because I've never been over here this far to the edge of the land. And yes, we are obviously in New Hampshire, but these were Massachusetts grants where people were sent up from the Bay Colony to, well, live and improve the land. And we've been metal detecting out here all year, finding all kinds of cool stuff and giving it to the family. But I still believe there are more sites out here. So I'm scouting it for detecting. See what it's like out on this end. Beautiful trails. There we go. Our first sign of people doing things a long time ago. Wow, those are huge. Huge rocks. That is a nice wall. It almost seems like an intentional proper break, which it could be. And then it goes right down that side, right on through, across the wetland we crossed. We crossed way down there, but as usual, wall continues on. And here is my first visible thing of interest, if you can see it. There's the trail, shouldered cart path. So that's an intentional break. And cart paths, the old roads, wagon paths, are a good sign out here. So far, we are up to 11 cellar holes, old home sites, on this property. And a lot of them were unknown before we started coming out here, or at least to the people who are currently involved. Yeah, well, we'll see if the trail skims it. Oh yeah, that's heavily rutted. Yeah, if I can walk down here beside it, may keep me from getting soaked. probably, the trail probably leads in the same area, to the same area anyways. Well, as usual, our cart path opens up into an area. Yes, this is opening up. Meaning it stops and then just land. Which is not uncommon. But what makes me wonder is back there is that brook. I think our cart path actually just dumped back out onto the trail. And we have more wall. So, at least it's not an area where nothing wasn't happening. Yeah. Alright. And then we come down and we have corner. So that wall we've been walking aside, it was actually this side being the outside. And immediately after you pass the wall, rough. What a difference. That's what we're looking for. Improved land, non-improved land. And no sign of an old bridge. Trail continues on, but I think where we just came from was the end of whatever old farm we were in. Yeah, we're definitely outside of worked area, old farm, no doubt. It is just getting crazy back here. So the colonists probably worked right up into this natural barrier. But I have to say, it is awesome out here. These trails are definitely old, but they're kept up. And it just goes on and on. This property is just absolutely huge. Again, we're up to 11 cellar holes we've found out here. That says a lot. Alright, well, I'm hoping, being that we're on the back side of this, actually I think I see wall now that I've turned around, we can loop around and get back into the improved stuff. Wow, there are walls all the way out here. And I say that because I'm getting to know this piece of property pretty good. This is unreal out here. So from what I can tell what's happening, we have actually been circling around this hill. That other wall was way back, so it probably continued on up that way, squares off somewhere way over there, and we've just been, like I said, circling. There is a cellar hole, an old home site. It's like one of the first, mid-1700s. It's probably what's associated with what's back here, because it's well up over, way down. But you never know, and that's why we walk around. There could be a wall somewhere in the middle of that just sectioned us off to another square. Well, here's something that just caught my eye, and pretty strange for out over here, considering how bad it is. Stacked rocks. stacked rocks. Yeah. Interesting. So what is back here or over here? You wouldn't stack those for no reason. They weren't clearing it back here, that's for sure. Huh. Yeah. That is to be noted. There are times to see stacked rocks and go, whoa. And then others that are just make sensible. I'll tell you why and what I'm thinking. So, obviously there's this big mound of a hill. You're clearing up there. You're not going to drag the rocks down here to put them in piles. You're just going to toss them over the edge. This ancient trail, well, it's ancient, so people have been using it for a long time. And we're in a corridor between wetland and it goes back up. So somebody moving inside this corridor took the time to do that. Well, I looped all the way around the edge. Up here, it walls off. This is something else that you never know. It's a hole. It could have been from a turned over tree, but it still has to be checked with the detectors. Just looking for rocks. It's in a logical spot. There's a wall behind you guys. So that trail is out there, stacked rocks on the other side of this hump, and a bit of a hole on top of the lift. And so very common for people to land here in the olden days and, well, let's build a temporary shelter here. It looks okay. That is a complete possibility. Alright. Down. We're basically on the back side of our loop. Wow, this place is just amazing. Look at the size of this wall. So, this is one that would have been built for the king. That goes directly east to west. Crazy. And we're almost certain that this wall, as far as we can tell, is like miles long. We know where it terminates on that end. No idea how long it carries on that way, but yeah, this would have been built to start the set of boundaries for the grid squares. Those rocks are absolutely massive. Unbelievable work. Okay, so I don't know, 12 minutes later. Look at this area. Wow. Beautiful. Seriously, this place is just amazing, and it's untouched. It's not destroyed or beat. And the trails have been maintained. Wow. Well, I have to say that was one of the best hikes I've had this season for beauty of the land and texture. And we just did, I have a quarter mile to go, I'm back on the main thing here. call it 2.5 miles. And that's barely scratching the surface of the depth of this place. Amazing land. Again, I'm out looking for areas to detect in here, which we will check that pit, the 2 stacks of rocks, that general area, because you got to imagine landing here almost 300 years ago, you had to set up temporary shelter immediately. Wow. Wonderful. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your Not Thursday.